Hey,
Here we
There
go.
we go.
yeah.
And there's the other half. Admit. I should make it a little bit smaller.
Hopefully,
There he is.
Yeah, it
He's
does
in.
good. I was gonna say hopefully it arranges itself.
Hello, hello.
How are you? You good?
I'm good. You?
Yeah, I'm great. I'm very good. It's Chris. Oh, there he is. There's Chris.
Here he is.
Right, you know what? I'm just going to get this out the way before we even get started any further. Because
What's
it's
you gonna
fucking
say?
with my
What are
mind.
you gonna say?
No.
What are you gonna say?
Not you.
Okay.
You can prepare yourself. Chris, why did you now play bass?
Oh yeah.
That fucked with my mind so much. I thought there was a general mistake on the website. I was like, he's an bassist.
Oh, well, I wanted Craig in the band, didn't I? So the sacrifices you got to make.
Fair enough.
It was just you were sat there pondering it for about an hour, but why?
There's a discrepancy on the website.
Yeah, he doesn't play bass.
Not bothered about the fact I were playing it in Falling Apart video. Just like,
Yeah,
wait a
no,
minute.
that was where you noticed it, and then you went on the website and was like, it does say bass.
Yeah.
Why?
It can't be. Well, it's
What's going on?
it's a couple less strings for me to fumble over at live. Do you know what I mean? When I take my glasses off, it's all.
Yeah. True.
Oh yeah, but Chris was like, "Oh, we need a new member," and I was like, "I am not playing bass," and he was like, "Oh, okay."
There's no wrong with bass.
There's nothing wrong with bass.
He just won't touch it. You know what I mean? He likes playing my guitar. That's why, isn't it, mate?
Yeah, I love your 7-string, but you can't spell bass without ass as well.
Oh, £10 from Lee Griffiths. Thank you. Oh, he's a request as well. I will get to them in a bit.
Chris, I believe the C word was mentioned. So
Yeah, it was actually. Yeah. Mikey, nice
Yeah.
one.
yeah,
You
thank
can
you.
join us if you would like.
I thought it was just the person who said I have to have a shot. This could get interesting.
I can't drink.
I didn't get alcohol just yet.
I wish I could drink. I can't drink.
Me with alcohol this early on is not a good idea.
Yeah, I can't drink either, but here we go.
There you go. Four cans deep. Great. Had enough.
Well, for anyone in chat who won't know who these are, Caskets, and I can say it because it's formerly Captives.
It literally says, caskets formerly captives.
Yeah, you've probably seen my videos and stuff. We're not going to go into it too much as to why, but yeah, there's a video on the channel if you haven't already seen it.
Yeah, I was gonna wear my captive shirt and then because I've got like a label printer. Just
What did you?
No. I was gonna wear my captives merch, but put a big fucking sticker that says caskets on.
Oh! Rack 'em up.
So many.
It's gonna be like vodka revs in a minute. They're gonna come out with platter.
Fucking wish I could.
Ooh,
That's every day,
Battenberg,
isn't
very
it?
nice.
Well, no, thank you very much for not only giving the time and joining, but for the fucking unreal donation that you've put in.
Oh, no worries.
It's
No problem.
it is
I was like, is he talking to us then? I was like, I haven't donated any money yet.
No, I think you've done enough, to be fair, but it was just unreal to see. I mean, like I've said to everyone that we've been on the show so far, it's cool that the guests that we managed to get on with, people that I've really got on with, and the music is just phenomenal. So you guys were actually discovered in the most random way, where we just like lying in bed one night.
Are you going to tell them the PC way, or are you going to tell them the actual way?
We could tell them the actual way. I mean, it is an 18+ stream. If you want to go down that road, you can tell them.
Was it my bass lines that did it?
There you go.
It was
Okay, I'll fucking come out with it, you know. But
exclusive
we were
right
literally
here.
mid-fuck, and I was on top, and I stopped in the middle and went, this sounds really good.
There you go.
You heard it.
But then you realised it wasn't us playing.
But yeah, that was how it happened.
Yeah.
So are we on the mix? Are we on the late night mix?
Yeah. Yeah,
Straight next to Lionel.
it's kind of awkward when you glance at the TV and you've just got Matt looking down on you, but it's but
That's
no,
not snow on the video.
they're on the playlist. Yeah, but no, it was instantly, and then I went on a mad search, finding all the different songs, and was like, these are unreal. I need to find out. Yeah, and yeah, put them on the channel. Next thing, official old band name insert here. Haha.
Oh,
I'll start racking up the next one. It's gonna happen.
Actually, no. I think it was me. I'm pretty sure I messaged their Instagram being like, "Here's a link to the video." I think.
Yeah, you did. You did.
There you go.
I replied to that. You were like, my fella does reaction videos, and I think we'd already seen it because they're super fun to watch. There's no better than watching someone react to the music.
Yeah.
So we usually pretty up on that. Of like someone in the chat will be like, someone's done one, and it's straight in, and then it's like silence in the chat for like 5-10 minutes, and then they're like,
oh, thank God they liked it.
George just said as well in chat there, that TIE fighter though, that is pretty cool.
There you go. I'm going to be completely honest, and I reckon anybody who's done a Zoom through lockdown knows that this is the room that's tidy, and there's room outside of shop that's not.
Yeah. That's the same with me, really. You see this part, and then the rest is just carnage and 3D printers.
It literally is.
It's crazy, but yeah. So one of the things, I mean, it's been a question pretty much to everyone that's come on so far, and especially with you guys, literally just starting to rail go places with the label and everything, and then the announcement came out. It's just, how has it been for a band in your position that you finally got the label, you got the deal, and then, well, you can't play anymore?
What, for lockdown?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, everybody's suffered, obviously, and we've all got like varying, like, different jobs. So, like, Craig's a tattooist. I run my own business. The guitarist Benji works at my place. Matt works in like a hospital. So everyone's had like a different lockdown, different experience. You know, James, who prints all our merch, he like just couldn't go to work at all. Like, it wasn't essential. So it's been really strange, but like, we've obviously tried to keep things interesting and been doing stuff. And granted, we were more outwardly proactive at the start, doing live streams, things like that, of being like, look, well, we either get on board or we get left behind. And then it kind of got harder going on because we wanted to do more and more things, but obviously we weren't allowed to say that we'd been signed, and a lot of things like were out of our control. Of like, we can't just say when, you know, something's coming out, because there was a lot of like stuff to figure out. Obviously, we've never been signed in any bands we've been in, so it was kind of like we were managing two things that we never experienced before. One, can't meet up, can't like collectively do jobs like pack up the merch orders and send them out, or like write music and things like that. So we had to kind of like figure it all out all at once. But to be fair, every time we're sort of quiet online, it's because we're doing something behind the scenes. So we're kind of like, there's not long to wait between stuff. But yeah, I don't know. How have you found it, Craig? Like,
it's really strange because like you find yourself filling your days with things that you would normally do later on in the day. So there's always like a bunch of band stuff to do, like on any given day. And then when you're suddenly not working, it's kind of like you wake up at 9 a.m. and you get to do things at 9 a.m. and it's kind of like, okay, how can I make this last a good 7 hours? How can you fill your entire day with things that only usually take you maybe 3-4 hours and things like that? So it's weird how you adapt to things, especially being at home all the time as well, and trying to get bands things done when you can't physically meet up is, I think we've adapted to it well, but it's been hard work, especially at the beginning. It was just something that none of us have ever, well, nobody has ever experienced really. So there's a lot of banging his head against the wall, especially when we're in the early stages of doing the album as well. I would say probably about 70% of the album's been written while we've all been separate as well, each in his own homes and things like that. And I don't know whether that's a good or a bad thing. When we finally we're all able to meet up and finalise the tracks and actually record them, there were still other ideas flying around as well while we were doing that. But having a lot more time, we had a lot more time with the tracks as well. If we'd have originally laid down the album when we were first going to do it, if that got pushed a couple of months back. So I think it's actually done the album some good. I don't think it's done us any good, obviously not being able to play shows and things like that. But I think the record has benefited from having that little bit of extra time as well.
Oh yeah, that most definitely. I mean, you could kind of say it's unexpected extra practice time to perfect that sound, but then at the same time, you can't be in the same room together. Yeah. You know, it's so hard doing things. I mean, a couple of people have said to me, we are blessed in a way to have the technology that we've got today, that we can do things like this. We can have Zoom rooms, there are ways to create music over the internet, but it's just not the same. It's never the same. Just when you're together in that room, someone could do something, which leads to something, and then bang, you've got a whole new thing on the go. But
yeah, absolutely.
It's just it was such a shame. I mean, especially for you guys, because obviously, any musician, the dream is to get to something like a label, then progress on, then start playing, and it gets bigger and bigger from there. And it was kind of like you had everything given to you, but only half, and it was just taken back away from you, just the wrong time. And I mean, like I say, when we discovered you guys that it was on Dreambound, which is like one of my favorite channels anyway, I was like, yeah, these guys are definitely going somewhere. It's the sound is just spot on. And then Boris comes on the telly. Nope. But yeah,
I think to look at the positives of it, like Craig said, the album definitely benefited from it. We wouldn't have worked with Dan Weller. If we'd have gone ahead as normal, we would have been doing it in Germany. And a lot of other bands have had it loads worse than us. As much as we might want to be like, oh, we want to play gigs and stuff like that. I know loads of bands have released albums, EPs at the start of lockdown or quite early into it, and I sympathise with them more than I sympathise with us. Like, we were lucky in regards that we hadn't announced anything of being like, oh, this date you're gonna get this date's the album, so on and so forth. Like, we've had the luxury of, well, everything's been put on pause, but bands like Neck Deep and things like that, they released their album, I want to say it was like 2 or 3 weeks into lockdown, and like that, how long ago was that now? They haven't toured it, things like that. Obviously they're a massive band, and there'll be small bands that have had that as well, and like I just feel for those where you never really get that like first push of being like, wow, it's out now, and then obviously the touring aids that, of being like, well, you're excited about our band now, come and seal the deal, basically. Come see us live, and if we're good, we're sort of like in there then, aren't we? We're on the Spotify playlist, you're listening to us. It starts to grow outwardly like that. So as much as it's been hard not playing gigs, and everybody wants to play gigs, it could have been a hell of a lot worse, and we're grateful for that. And it's nice to see the music community like supporting each other, like because we've only got online at the moment.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of like camaraderie between, like City were just on, and we're always checking in with them and seeing how they're doing and throwing ideas back and forth of like, oh, how did your live stream go, and any feedback, like what was good, what was bad. Like, it's kind of everybody's looking out for everybody, because we've all had the same thing taken away from us. So it's kind of like we're all in it together.
Yeah.
Even though we're like apart.
Because I've always said, I've said quite often that the music industry is extremely fickle. So releasing an album or an EP or whatever so early on into lockdown, it's old news by the time you can tour again.
Yeah,
people,
I think
people have heard
it's the blessing and the curse, isn't it? Of like, and like we're all as bad as each other. Like, we all want that next thing. Every Friday, I'm like, what's come out, and I'm on the release radar.
Yeah, I am too.
What's the next thing? And we're all just as guilty as each other. But yeah, it's like, I don't think it'll ever really fully go back to how things were before. Like, obviously gigs and stuff will come back, but I think now that everybody's had to, it's like trial by fire of like, right, you've got to know how to do a live stream and all these, go on Zoom, and like, none of us used Zoom before lockdown, and now I'm on it like every weekend.
Yeah.
So I think it's opened some other doors of like people who really, really want it, and the bands that are willing to go with the change and be like, well, it used to be this way, but now it's not. Like, I think those are the ones that will thrive. I think people that just sit and wait, be like, oh, the good times are coming back, play gigs and this, that, and the other. Like, if people have built up something online now when there was only time to build stuff online because you couldn't get out there, they're going to have that step up on everybody else of being like, well, we've got a Facebook page now with all the fans in and a mailing list and stuff that you have to do because there's no else to do. I think they're the ones where they've reached out and grabbed the like, well, this is the new normal.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And the other thing is as well, there's that many good bands around now releasing really good music. If you don't keep up with it, you'll just get left behind very quickly.
Yeah.
Because you could release something great or be doing great things, and then if you stay inactive for an amount of time, there's probably another 100 great bands that'll just be like, right, well, we're in front of you now because you've not stayed on the ball, sort of thing. Yeah, which is a good and a bad thing, really. You know, if you're willing to put the time and effort in to keep ahead of the game, that's great. But if you're not,
It's kind of like that for me as well with the channel. I mean, you'll know definitely if a new track's being released because obviously their fans will start requesting it. But it's such a short window to get that video out there because obviously there's so many people that do the reaction thing right now. And a lot more have started since the lockdown, and good on them. But it's like you said, then you've got a very limited kind of space to. If a big song comes out, you can give it an hour, and there's someone already got that video out, or like certain things with me, you'll probably see I've got a video out the minute it drops just after the premiere because I've been lucky enough to have spoken with management or the band have sent it over unlisted, and then I've got it. But to be able to grow it and to get people watching your stuff, even though it's another song, it's so hard. You've got such a short window, and sometimes I'll get up with a plan, and I've got a list. Like today, I'm doing these songs. I'll open YouTube, bang, nope, I'm doing 10 today instead. It's just one of them, but it's really good to see you guys still going, and I don't want to touch on the reason as to why the name is different now too much. But I suppose you guys have sort of had like a double knockback because you had everything with the label, like I was saying before, and everything. Thank you very much for the $20, Hayden.
Thank you.
You had everything like that going on, like you're saying before. Everything was just about to go. That gets taken away from you. Lockdown, couple of months into lockdown, boom, everything's taken off the internet. Your music, your sound is taken away from you, which for a band is just, I cannot imagine what that must have been like. But
that wasn't a good thing to wake up to.
No.
Obviously,
that was an interesting morning, wasn't it?
Yeah. So look, I'm gonna be frank about it. Like the whole situation was really shit, and I don't want to speak too much on the other band, but that was when things changed for us in the whole process of like, we were willing to, we wanted to speak to them about it, whether that be through the lawyers or just speaking to them. And when stuff like that started to go, that's when we had to change our mindset and say, look, at the end of the day, most band names are crap. Like, do you know what I mean? You could come up with a load of your favorite bands, and if you really think about it, the names are crap. It's just a means to the end. So we just cut his losses and said, look, at the end of the day, our fans like the music. We could have, when we called ourselves the word, there was members of the band who didn't like that name. We just went to a vote and we were like, I think it was three people liked it and 2 people didn't, and that's what we got called.
Yeah.
And eventually a band name just becomes a sound. Do you know what I mean? Someone will say, Bring Me, or, Architects, or, you just hear the noise, don't you? And you don't really think about that they're called Bring Me the Horizon. Like, you don't think about that.
Yeah.
So we sort of like, when the music went, that was the turning point for us, where we were like, look, a lot of people listen to our music every day, and they're not going to know what's going on. Do you know what I mean? We know what's going on, but it's very hard to communicate to thousands of people. Oh yeah, it's gone, but it'll be coming back soon, but we don't know when, and da-da-da-da. And like, the issue for us was, to get the result that we wanted, which was obviously keeping the name, would have taken 6, 7, 8 months.
Yeah.
And we're not in a position to be waiting around. We've got our debut album that we worked really hard on. That needs to come out. We've got loads of stuff, we've got a lot of irons in the fire. Like, we had the Sirius thing. Yeah. Like, we'd already filmed a live set. We'd already done the interviews. So, like, we'd pre-recorded the interviews saying the dirty word. But we had to re-record. So there was a lot. Do you know what I mean? We just bought a load of new merch, and it's never, anything like that's never nice. But at the end of the day, we were like, who's going to lose out the most? And it's the fans. Do you know what I mean? That person that, wants to get down to their Friday night lovemaking, and they, we're not on the playlist anymore. Like, I mean, some people turn to our music, and they turn to, loads of bands and stuff. But we just didn't want people to be without. So we were like, look, let's just swallow his pride and just change the name. Do you know what I mean? Like, get over it. It's not the end of the world. Again, like the lockdown thing, we're very like glass half full kind of guys. Like, it could have been even worse. We could have printed a load of vinyl that said the name on. They'd be all going in the bin. Like, it could always have been worse. So we were just like, let's just cut his losses, change the name. I spent many a night like redoing all his single artwork, everything. And yeah, it is what it is. It's a bit like a Voldemort situation now of like, don't say it.
I'm kind of glad that you could keep your logo to a point.
Well,
that was a big thing for us. Immediately, we were like, we need to keep the C. The C is like the C and the yellow is.
Yeah.
I would argue is more important than the rest of the name. And then the funny story is like somebody in the comments was like, "Oh, it looks like you've just been like, oh, what sounds a bit like that name but isn't."
There's always dickheads on the internet.
Yeah, I replied to that comment. There was like, it looks like you just looked for other words beginning with C and just said, "Yeah, let's go with that." And I just replied saying, "Yeah, we did."
It is kind of hilarious though, because when you search 4 years now, it looks like I'm buying tickets to a load of coffins. So it's kind of fun when you Google image search Caskets band. And it's just like coffins.
so we came up with Caskets within what, 20 minutes?
Oh, that was the first thing we came up with.
We got on a Zoom call and we're like, right, it needs to be C. It needs to, sound the same. We want one word. And we came up with that. And then we were like, look, let's not just go with the first thing we come up with. So then, Muggins over here goes through the entire English dictionary on my phone. C words. Drop them in the chat.
Yeah,
and eventually we like voted them all down, and we were like, it's gonna be Caskets, and we were like voting them away. Stupid names, super tech metal, Constellationus, like. And then it was just like, oh yeah, we've voted for Caskets, and we're like, well, that could have got sorted about 4 hours ago.
Well, that was the exact thing. We narrowed it down to we got it down to 4 names.
Yeah.
And then we were like, which one do we like the most? It was like Caskets, and we were like, fucking said that 3 hours ago.
It would have been kind of funny if you called yourself something like the sound of really like black metal or something, and then you see Matt.
Oh yeah, there was loads of names that, like, if we ever start some like gen like math band, I've got a load of C based names that we can just straight jump into. Well,
we did have an idea for when we eventually start as a country side project. So we're going to call it Baskets.
Country Baskets.
Start a jam band and call it Captivated. It's just like, it still has that name in it, but just like have an 8, just a little bit on the end. But, it
was kind of in the same conversation, but I think it was me and Chris that said it, so we can get over the name change. Like, we're upset about it, but we can get over it. It was just everybody else, like the fans and things, like when the music went down, it was just kind of like, we need to do something about it right now.
Have you clocked the jab of the hook? No.
Yeah, I was going to say, what is that? It's huge.
Craig was like, you need to drink out of the tiki mug for the whole thing. So I'm like...
Didn't you have a hat on as well earlier?
Oh, you want to see this? This was from our pre-drink Zoom. So I was like, halfway through, I'm going to be like, I'm just going to sort the camera out, and then just like appear back.
That is look at that's brilliant. Yeah, we've got that, and it freaks me out sometimes.
Do you know what's You know what's really done me over? I didn't realise that the alcohol went into the tail. I was like pouring the Jim Beam in, and I was like, oh, no, we can go up to like his tummy. And then I had the first sip of it, and I was like, oh, no.
Someone in the chat's just put, it's a better band name than Carpal Tunnel Syndrome, which if you really wanted to go through.
That's actually our tech metal band name, so yeah, we're swiping that. We'll be straight getting that Instagram name.
Oh, that's brilliant. But... it's all done. It's past now. Your music is back on, as far as I'm aware, all the streaming platforms. It's back on YouTube. I was on it straight away, changing the thumbnails over with my videos.
Thank you for that.
It was the first I really heard about it was it wasn't say vague to a point, but it was kind of a mysterious email that came through, and it was like, thank you very much for all the videos you've done on the channel. We will be in touch again soon, but you're going to have to change the title of the band. You can't be this anymore. We won't know what the new name is yet, and I'm like, what the hell? I was like, why?
I found out on Apple Music because your song came up on Shuffle, and it was like, this is no longer supported in your area, and I'm like, what?
Oh no, they've cut the support.
Yeah.
What?
That was great. That was crazy to go from like what we were at, like 300,000 monthly listeners, and literally just went. Like there's a graph
off the edge of a cliff, just like
Spotify for artists. Like you can log into the app and see all these stuff, and like literally it looks like the Big Dipper. It's like and then all of a sudden just gone. And the scary thing for us was we didn't know when it was going to come back, and like Craig said, there's always something fresh and new, and loads of people are releasing great music, and it was a bit of a vanity thing for us as well. It's like we're gonna lose how many streams we've got, and the numbers and stuff. And like, granted, like that's not a really big deal, but like it kind of is in some respects when if you went to check out a band and they had 10,000 players or they had 3 million players.
Yeah,
there's something that's going on where you go, oh, these warrant my attention. Someone's listening to them.
Yeah.
So there was all stuff like that where we were like, are we going to lose all those players and be like, going out on massive tours and we've got like 10 spins on signs. It's an undiscovered gem.
Well, you've only got to look. I mean, that's just like you say. That's only the streaming services. People in chat, if you search these guys on Dreambound on YouTube, they've got over 1 million listens on some of the videos. It's insane.
Yeah, we would never get back to those numbers if the videos got pulled and we had to re-upload them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You'd never get that same, the campaign and all that sort of stuff. So it was scary because I imagine a lot of people find us through that,
Well, I mean, it was, props to the likes of Dreambound and stuff because they were on it with the name change. There was like bang, done.
Yeah, we love Manny who does Dreambound. Like he was sound. He was just like, I'll make all the new thumbnails and stuff. And I was like, I've already made them. But yeah, everyone like yourself, all the other people that do reaction videos, fans, everyone. We knew that people would support us in the decision, but it was still scary anyway. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, if everyone around you going, "Don't worry, it'll be fine," it's still quite,
Oh well, I mean, there's one thing saying it'll be fine, but then you're sat there as a band, and your only reach to people at the minute is through their ears, and you've had that taken away from you.
Well, yeah, if we'd have lost the Instagram and Facebook, which we'd had copyright strikes against, being like, "Oh, you can't use that name." Wow. And obviously Facebook and Instagram don't want to get in the middle of it. They're just like, they see a document saying, "No, naughty." And we were like, if we lose the ability to tell someone that the name's changed, that's like nightmare number one.
Yeah.
Some random band follows you and you go, "Oh, Caskets, that sounds a bit like so-and-so." But we can't message people from a new account and know that they're going to see it, as opposed to being like, "Hey guys, it's changed."
I mean, that's probably one of the reasons. I mean, Em will know what I'm like, and I had to sit and sort of go over my thoughts for a good 10 or 15 minutes so that I didn't press record and just go insane and put a video.
Chris Latter's just been here as well.
Oh, thank you, Chris. Thank you, man. And just not go all guns blazing. And it wasn't just, I had to think of obviously you guys. I had to think of, the other guys could have seen that, and that's why I stressed that I didn't want anyone from my channel to go over and attack them, because it's just pointless. I would hate that to happen to anyone, because then you become involved directly with it, and it's not fair.
Well, yeah, and like we said it this way. Look, we've had a disagreement with this band, and in our eyes, it's done with now.
Yep.
But the weird thing, I always find the weirdest thing about it is if we were called something else and we went and played a gig and they were playing the gig as well, and none of this had happened, probably get on like a house on fire. Do you know what I mean? We're all musicians. We're all trying to do the same thing. And I understand that, it's your baby, innit? You put a lot of time and effort into it. And I don't hold any grudges or, animosity towards them. I completely can see it from their side.
Yeah.
We weren't aware of their existence when we formed and called ourselves that. But that's the risk you take when you call your band a single word. Do you know what I mean? There's only so many single words that don't sound like tech metal bands.
So there's a lawyer sat there now going, well, my band Caskets, so I'm just going to send don't do
like,
that.
But it's so strange knowing that as human beings, if you took all that out of it, of being like, oh, you've got the same name, probably would get on with them. Do you know what I mean? They're probably just lads like us who, like to have a good time, play gigs, play music. They want to get somewhere with a band, like. So I understand, and like that's a big thing for us of like, what are we going to gain from moving forward and being like angry about it? Like,
yeah, there's a couple of different ways that copyrights work. I mean, obviously you said yourself you've got your own business. The same with me, and I've had it wasn't a kind of a similar experience, but it was kind of they were trying to use the copyright and the copyright laws to be able to gain. It was mainly for financial reasons, to be fair, but. Mine had been copyrighted before. It was all done and dusted. One of the first things we ever did. And then we got an email and it was like, you can't use this name. I've just applied for copyright. So we just applied with all of our copyright and was like, Yeah, copyright doesn't always work that way. We also have a presence as well to go with it, and the paperwork. And so, if you want to take this to court, you will lose. And it just didn't. Nothing ever came of it.
Yeah.
But on your hand, then yeah, they had you by the balls, I suppose. But
it is what it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's why I said before the logo. That was the most important thing, because people will see that. Obviously, you've got the badges and stuff. It's everywhere. The yellow as well. That's like a brand color now. You know, if people was
I just want to put out on stream so everyone knows that, like, I own yellow now. So if you got any yellow clothes, any food, anything, it needs to be binned.
I'll call the Simpsons.
Simpsons, Homer Simpson. You need to get that sorted, mate.
Well, I couldn't because you bought merch and you got your merch and stuff, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna jump on because I got the patches instead to put on the jacket. But at the time, it was out of stock in my size. I was like, no.
Yeah, you've got the patch with their name on it.
Oh shit! Really?
No.
I'm gonna put it on delivery.
What does the name say? Have you
Don't say
it. He's thirsty, that lad. I can see him.
Whisper it into the mic.
I know,
ASMR.
I thought I had the rose one.
No.
Oh, you took that one.
It's
No,
been yoinked.
that was always mine. You wanted the name.
Oh, I did actually, yeah. And now that's being taken away from me.
You and me both, mate.
Oh.
Thank you.
Thank you. Another £10 from Paul. But
thank you very much.
So obviously everything's back. You know, I'm guessing you've started to potentially book dates and stuff to finally get back out there.
Yeah, it's hard. Like everything we book, we have 10 minutes of being really excited about it, and then we sort of go, is it going to happen? But we're just remaining optimistic about the whole sort of thing of, like, if we announce dates, we're assuming that we're playing them.
The donation came up in yellow. That's copyright struck straight away.
Yeah. Paul, knock that on the head, Paul.
He owns yellow now, okay?
I think the other thing with the gigs is as well, especially for Europe and stuff as well, the Brexit stuff as well, that we have to be very careful with. Because there's a few new annoying laws coming in.
We don't know if we can drive the van. We don't know if we're gonna have to need loads of paperwork and stuff. But
that's all the things.
Yeah, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Like,
that was what's that to do with the visas?
Yeah, that's up in the air of, like, whether we need those carnets and stuff. And
how ridiculous is that? You get to, like, the tunnel, you cannot drive that van. You're just walking through France with drums or something.
well, the terrible news is we'll probably just have to fly everywhere, won't we, Chris? So
no. Right. That's the error that's on the website where it says Chris bassist. It should say Chris bassist / driver.
Yeah.
And I'm lead driver and he's rhythm driver.
Is the van yellow?
Okay, I'll remember that next time when there's a lead part.
Oh yeah.
You want me to drive it? Oh, sorry, mate. I only drive rhythm.
Well, I can only drive in 4 lanes. If there's 5 lane streets, I'm out.
I can't drive past the 12th fret. Sorry.
That'd be like the gears as well. I can only go to 4. So motorways are out the question.
Yeah. You can only go to 4th. You must be the bassist then, mate.
Chris loves driving in 4th. Just so everybody who's trying to sleep in the back gets a good rattle.
I just love really viciously changing lanes when I know someone's having a kip, who never drives.
I've tried to play bass. Yeah. That's another myth. People always say, "Oh, you play guitar, you can play bass." They're totally different.
I can confirm it is a myth.
Yeah, it's totally different.
Look, backing tracks, they've come a long way. Since,
But the problem is switching from guitar to bass, your hand feels this big all of a sudden, doesn't it?
Yeah. Was that one of them mini hands?
Yeah, my hands are always that big.
That's your hand.
My hands are this big anyway. It's fine.
I've got tiny hands on the universe.
Yeah, you have. It's stupid.
That
little toy hand was modelled on your hands.
Yeah.
The fans would have got at least 5 more tracks on the album if Craig hadn't bought the tiny hands, because we spent so much time being like, can I just get a shot of you just pushing up that fader with a tiny hand?
Yeah. All those videos are yet to surface as well.
Book another day in the studio being like, can we get some like tiny hand footage?
You need tiny hands on the sticks as well.
Exactly. You got James sat in the booth waiting to track drums, and I'm just stood next to Dan Weller. It's like, can you just put this in your finger?
No word of a lie. 20 minutes it took to, like, gaffer tape the fingers down like that to the hand So on the video, I could say, Craig, how's the music going? And he just goes, with a tiny hand.
That means
They're
something like a
surprisingly
finger on the
sturdy.
videos.
What can I say? I mean,
It's your hand.
Shut up! It's not my hand.
these could genuinely have bones in them. I'm just saying.
Well, I know a couple of people in the chat have been asking about this. Well, these 2 lots that we've got. So I know it's only 25 too, but I'd like to obviously get that done, and then we can have like maybe a little bit more of a chat before you guys have to go. There you go. Oh, honestly, the people won't know this, but the other day I was obviously speaking to Chris, and we've been talking backwards and forwards about this, and he said, "Oh, I've got a couple of these."
I was at work.
I told them, and yeah, uncontrollable.
I was like, fight me for them. Fucking yeah, you bitches in chat. Good luck.
So we've actually split it into 2 lots. I mean, I don't know if do you guys want to introduce what you have got, or
Yeah, so like top dog prize that you want to get the signed snare skin, which I'm gonna sort tomorrow. So we're shooting a new music video on Tuesday. So I'll draw the lovely C on it, and then I'll get all the boys on Tuesday to sign it up
with a tiny hand.
You'll get
Tiny
a tarot card, an exclusive glass art tarot card. You'll get an enamel pin, and I think that was it. And then second prize is the same, but you don't get the skin. You get like a new long sleeve T-shirt with no incriminating name on. I can confirm.
Do you want to set a starting bid, or should we just see what the chat say, or it's entirely to yourself?
No, you're the boss man. You set it off.
Right. Well, should we do the T-shirt one on that first?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
And then we'll save the skin till the last. So this one up first is for the Fallen Rose. Is it Fallen
Roses
long sleeve shirt with the tarot cards and an enamel pin.
Yeah, I'll throw in a load of small stuff that we've got.
Cool. So it's entire. What I'll do with this one is I will leave it to chat. We'll open the bids for like 5-10 minutes, something like that. And obviously there's what?
That's the wrong lot.
That's the wrong lot. Yeah, the second lot is what we need there, Stevie. Lot 21. But yeah, we'll leave it open for like 5-10 minutes. Obviously I'll keep an eye on chat, but there's plenty of mods to keep an eye on high bids as well. But yeah, just obviously type in the chat, put bid first, and then the total you're willing to bid up to. Yeah. And obviously once it ends and stuff, we will confirm that it's being donated before we obviously close it and stuff, so we know that it's actually in. There's 3 different ways as well that you can donate. You can either go direct to the Just Given link, which Stevie is putting in chat. You can donate via Super Chat, which comes straight through on the YouTube, and you can put a little message in. Yeah. Or there is a PayPal link, which is linked directly to the same place the Super Chat goes to and stuff, which again is being linked by Stevie. So,
but you do need to be ready to donate ASAP.
Yeah.
Because if you do not donate, we will just roll on the auction.
Yeah, it's got to be done and dusted because it's all going for a good cause. So, yeah, we will open that one now.
If you want it, you got to pay.
But thank you so much as well for to all of you guys for donating. That's special.
No, don't worry. We're happy to.
It's
and we'll sign anything if anyone wants to sign like pictures or like. We'll chuck that in. We'll make it lovely jubbly.
For free.
If you're sitting in, I go,
Sneak in with that cheeky 50p bid at the start and just hope that no one else comments.
Yeah. Do you want anything?
T-shirt, 20 straight away. That's mine.
Oh.
Let's do it.
I will type it in.
Oh, he fucking said 20 as well.
Well.
There's a slight delay though, so fair.
Yeah.
Can you sign my foot?
We'll sign anything.
You need to, on the merch stand when your next gig, you need to have signed tiny hands.
Right, so you imagine these little tiny hands, like
yellow ones,
hand tattoos, little.
Oh yeah, Craig, just tattoo them all up.
Yeah, man. I got my magnifying glass out and get on that.
Nah.
Oh, bid 25 from Jenny. 30. Where's that?
No, I'm saying.
Oh, high bid. I'm 30.
I should have really got my phone. It's in the other room because I get that many fucking notifications.
Madness.
It's rolling in. It's rolling in. So obviously, yeah, you say you're a tattoo artist.
Yes, yeah. Oh, obviously, I've not worked that much.
Well,
recently.
Yeah, I've had half a sleeve finished for like over a year now. I need to get more done on it, but
I'm fucking saving for a leg sleeve.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's yeah, that aside from all the music stuff and that, yeah, that's been shit.
Yes. The thing is, and this is one of the things with like I've often said this when the governments have been like saying what they've been saying with the updates and things. I mean, obviously you're a tattoo artist, so you're dealing with that. You're actually in that environment. I've got a friend who does mine, who owns a tattoo studio as well, and it's just the silly little things that they're coming out with, like these spaces aren't clean and we can't guarantee that these are safe areas. So it's like, have you ever been into a tattoo studio and seen how clean they have to be?
Yeah. It was like after the first lockdown, it was all these things where like people like, oh, we've got to do this, we've got to wash our hands this many times, and we've got to do this. I'm like, yeah, we've been doing that for years. Right, none of this is new to us.
You know, Bozza's got the full Jap back piece, you know.
Yeah, I reckon so. Yeah,
giving it all that, and then he just whips. He's walking around London Tattoo Convention with the little thong on, and he's got the full back piece onto the arse cheeks.
Full dragon suit.
Nice.
Arse cheeks and everything. Yeah, man.
I know you referred to Craig as a tattooist, but he prefers to be driver/tattooist.
Well,
Exactly.
I'm guessing.
But it was rhythm driver / tattooist.
Oh yeah, rhythm driver.
Yeah, yeah. Only when I'm playing lead, you know, in passenger seat.
Yeah. Give him the aux lead. Yeah.
Aux lead. Craig's got this amazing like wireless connector that, you know, you've had a long day, you've played a show, you know, you're in the middle of nowhere in Germany, and you just want to get a couple of Z's in seats in back. And Craig wants to put a bit of music on, and it's the Bluetooth has paired. Every time.
Amazon's finest, mate. I'm telling you. 10 quid.
Has paired.
That's the
Changed
thing.
life.
When the aux cable's in, what are you playing?
Country.
Oh, Baskets.
Caskets, yeah. Yeah, we do actually listen to a lot of country music. Usually we're listening to like bands that we've discovered on tour. Like everyone who's in a band knows that thing where you're gonna go out and play some dates with a band, and you listen to a bit of the music and you're like, oh yeah, they're all right. And then by the end of the tour, you're like, that's all you can think about. Like, oh yes, like that happened when we went out with Palmist. I'd like listened to a few of their tracks and I was like, oh, this is decent. Like, but was never like spinning it all the time. And then we went on tour with them. I listen to them all the time now. Like, and that happens a lot. Like we played High Five Fest and a band called Neuer. You'll have heard of them.
Yeah, I've heard of them.
Stream band and stuff.
Yeah.
They played and like we already liked them, and then like couldn't stop listening to them, and like it's right weird. It's almost like really ass kissy. But you like play with someone, and then you're like, oh, we were listening to a song in the back, and someone in the band's gonna like video it and send it to them. Like, oh, listening to your song. But it is genuine. Like there's something about seeing it live, and then like when you're listening to it, you like playing the gig in your head.
Yeah.
So we often find that we're listening to like people that we've been playing with, or you know.
Oh god, yeah. Jenny in chat just told me to 3D print some casket baskets.
Basket, and then.
I mean, to be fair, if their logo is, they'll have it, obviously.
Yeah.
I could probably make that into an STL and print that as part of a basket. I might do that in yellow. I'll get some yellow filaments and send you it.
You just missed high season for baskets. You could have had all eggs in them, everything. Yellow egg.
Well, now I'll just print one big one, and Craig can store loads of tiny hands in it.
Nice.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. These
or inks or something, or tattoo stuff. There you go.
Come on, guys, in chat, fight us for it.
Do you know what though? As well, I think, and often I don't think people realise. I mean, I've discovered a lot about like bands and stuff. Like for people that just click on a YouTube video, like for instance, you know, some of yours, like I was saying before, with like 1 million+ views on them, and people go, they must see that and like, oh wow, these guys are like, you know, huge, you know, worldwide, they're signed and everything, and you realise that there's actually real people behind this band with real jobs. It's not all glam and stuff at the beginning.
Yeah, that's always weird, isn't it? When you're like, oh, these guys must be like, you know, banned all the time, and you're like, and then you spot one of us at like Nando's working, just like.
Has that ever happened though? Like, is any of the fans ever gone like, oh?
Jenny wants a casket basket.
Okay. Like, have you had anyone come into the studio for a tattoo and then being like, oh my god?
Yeah, they have actually, but obviously not recently because of everything that's been going on. one of the guys that I've tired him a few times now. Actually, the first time he came into the shop, he hadn't said anything beforehand. I'd put the stencil on and started working on him. We must have been about 30 minutes in, and he started talking. My old band that used to be in called Glamour of the Kill. He literally looked at me and he's like, "Hey, Craig." I'm like, "Yeah." Like, I was expecting him to say like, "I need a break" or something.
What are you thinking about?
And I was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Yeah." It's like, "So when are Glamour are gonna release more new music?" And I'm like, "Oh no, no, you got me." He's like, I literally can't leave this conversation."
Do you know what? That's a name I have not heard for a while. I used to love that band. I didn't realise that was actually you, man.
So I was like, not anytime soon. He's like, "But let me tell you about this new band."
Yeah, I remember they.
Don't say the name or I'll have to do a shot. Damn.
Say it.
I remember I heard they were. Has he done it? They were a band when you first heard them. I was like, "Damn, his voice is high." The vocalist.
Well, oh, Davey, yeah, man. You got balls in a vice. Absolutely.
Do you know what? I'm sure I will have seen you. You guys play Liverpool at least once.
Yeah, probably.
Because I'm sure that they were all at Revolution Wednesdays after that gig.
I should mention I wasn't a founding member of that band.
Yeah.
I joined them quite late on.
Yeah, I'm sure they played the gig and then they were all at Revolution Wednesdays afterwards. Cool. Same with
the highest bid at the moment is Stevie with 55.
Yeah,
we actually did have Chris out on the last tour we did, didn't we?
Playing bass, ironically, side stage.
Well, we're on 10-2 now. So, do you want to throw another one in, or are we closing it?
We're getting booted off, Craig.
No, not you guys. No. They're just the first auction.
Get rid of them. Now they know you're in Glamour. Get rid of them.
And Sam said, where do we buy the music from?
Our music?
Yeah.
iTunes, hopefully, if it's back on.
I think it is. It's on Apple Music again, so.
It is back on Apple Music.
We'll probably print some more of the EPs. Because it's like, even if we go out on tour and we've got the new album, people will probably still want the EP. So we're likely to print some soon.
And it's got the wrong name on it.
No, it's got the right name on it.
You should just like jumble all the letters up for a laugh and put it on the front. Just make up a name.
Hey, do you know what the good thing was? I had most of the letters in the name. Do you know what I mean? I was just like, C. The next there.
It was Benji who was like, "Oh, it's super easy. You've only got to build one new letter."
Oh,
like,
nice.
Is it easy?
I'll just quickly change every graphic that I've ever made for the last 3 years.
The highest bid is. So we close it, Stevie? Yeah. Right, Stevie. Congratulations. 55.
Stevie.
And now we will move on to obviously the big one, which I think should have a minimum. Yeah. What that should be. That's why I asked obviously the boys, but 350. Well, when you actually, when you gig and stuff, I don't know if you've ever done it before. Sometimes you'll see a signed skin on the merch booth. So, what would you normally ask for that? Start
at £10. Let's. I want a frenzy. I want to see them. £12, £14.
Does that mean I can be like, get the mic that close? I'm like, I've got a gavel.
Have you got a gavel?
Yeah, I've got one
somewhere.
Did
you print one?
No.
Oh.
Where's it gone? It's here. I have a gavel.
Oh.
Let's get it done.
Dude, do you want to borrow this hand for that?
Before anyone asks, I didn't purposely buy this. It came with a bed.
Did it come with a bed?
Yeah, I mean, how you're knocking bolts in with a wooden mallet, kind of.
Hey, I don't want to worry about you on Friday night.
Get some caskets on and get the gavel.
There was this one time I dreamed about. Yeah, but
that'd come in handy, do you know what I mean? Because normally at IKEA you've got to push them in with your thumb, and it's not nice, is it?
Our bed had that weird magical trick it did, but it just took all the bolts out, didn't it? And then it collapsed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I had to put all them back in the other day. Right. The next one up is obviously the big one. So for this one, you are getting a snare skin signed by every member of Caskets.
Well done.
It just came up at the bottom of the screen.
You were close, weren't you?
It just came up at the bottom. A tarot card set with its glass heart on it, isn't it?
Yes.
Here you go. And a enamel pin. Obviously, bid generously with this one because not only is it signed, but it's something that you often physically cannot buy, and it is being very kindly donated. And remember that all the money is being donated for a very good cause, and it was awesome for the guys to very kindly donate this. So yeah, we'll open
remember
up
that
on
I'm
that
going to
one.
be waking up hungover, and I'm going to have to draw a really perfect circle C. Bear that in mind.
Well, yeah, that one is open, so we'll leave that one running for probably the rest of the time.
Cool. Then I will say 50.
50 quid straight in.
Oh!
Boom. $50 now. We're not doing conversions. $50.
$50. Somebody asked in the chat earlier, and I've been waiting for a gap to answer it. They said, let me find it. It was about singles on the album.
Oh, yeah.
They were like, will the old singles be on? So singles that'll be on the album, obviously Glass Heart will be on. And this next single that's getting released on May 7th, that'll be on. But like Falling Apart and stuff, that's all like old school now. So
I am interested to hear the new stuff because after speaking to Matt a couple of weeks ago about the video and stuff, he was saying that the new song is different with parts of what you're used to hearing, but it's different, and he can't wait to see what I think of it.
Yeah, to be honest, like since the name change, I'm more nervous about the next single now.
Yeah.
Because I don't want people to think that that's what we're going to be like now, if that makes sense.
Yeah, because when we decided this one was going to be a single, it was like, right, it's not entirely different. There's some different elements to it, which in the first instance was a little bit nerve-wracking anyway, and then now the name change, and then there's this song that's going to be coming out that's a little bit different. It's like, what is everyone going to think?
Yeah, it's got like a bit of an 80s synthwave influence on it, but it's still the same stuff that you like from us. Like if you like our other songs, you'll definitely like it.
Yeah.
But if I'd have known we were going to change the name, I probably wouldn't have had that as the next single that comes out. Especially with the music video, it's got like a lot of like pink in it because that was like a nice contrasting color with the yellow. And like, I don't want people to think we've turned into like some synthwave cover band of being like, God, this Caskets band sucks.
They were yellow and now they're pink and yellow. What's going on? They're a different name. Nah, people don't appreciate it.
It'll be okay. It'll be fine.
The new total £260 so far.
I think it's because Stevie's put in the 55. I think.
Yeah. Oh, bid 70 for the skin.
The pressure's building now. I'm gonna have to make sure this stays. I'm gonna have to trace around something again. Nice to see.
Bid to 65. Don't I just too late, dude? Hey, he's getting his little frenzy though.
I know, yeah. It starts going down now. 60.
75.
Buddy knows. We know Buddy. We met Buddy in Netherlands. I remember being really, really tired and sort of like walking to the merch desk, and he was sort of like, oh, excuse me. And I thought, this guy's definitely not wanting to speak to me. Like, do you know what I mean? Absolute nobody. And then he was like, no, Chris. And then we chatted at the merch desk for ages, and like we're really good friends now. Like when I moved to bass, he plays bass, so like I've been like sending him videos of me like playing stuff for him to learn, and like we've had loads of great experiences meeting people like that. Like it's amazing that if you give someone like a little bit of time, it's amazing like the connections you can make through being in a band. I remember when I was younger, if like if I'd have messaged someone from like funeral for a friend and then they replied, I would have been like, my mind.
Yeah.
So like we always try and be super like I don't want to say humble because we don't think we're anything amazing, but like I like to always remember like if I was that person, like what interaction would I want? If you're like, oh, excuse me, can I have something signed? And like I'm notorious for like someone being like, oh, can I have the CD signed? And I'm at the merch desk on my own. It's sort of like, right, I'll hide the merch tin. I fall through the venue and it's like, Matt will be outside having a cigarette. Craig will be at the van or something, and you're just like, please.
I'll be driving, mate.
You'll be driving.
Just
start going slightly forward and slightly back.
Yeah, the ignition isn't even on. He's just sat on the driver's seat, like. Bit 85.
Section warmed up.
Bit 85. Ooh. Yeah, it's awesome. This, and it is. Obviously, it's worth. I know it's worth a lot more.
Yeah.
But it's appreciated to see.
If only I didn't get fucking furlough pay.
Oh God! If my grant had landed by now, I'd have been like, all of it. I'm waiting for the council to release my grant money.
We want the Americans on with the stimmy checks, don't we?
Yeah.
Oh.
I've got a couple of American friends on later.
Nice.
What did they
I've seen so many good memes about the stimulus checks.
Yeah.
There's been so many good ones kicking around. There were a lot of good tattoo ones as well.
Oh, Jenny's putting. Do we have 90 anyway? No, it's 90. What do they even say when they do that?
It depends on the auctioneer.
But like, you can see some of them only do it for 10 minutes without taking a breath, and then nearly keel over, and you're like, what did you just say to say that person bid that much?
We've got 90.
90.
Is this euros or US dollars? It's GBP.
British pounds.
Whichever is valued the most. You've just bid in rupees.
High bid, £3.10. I love that when you see things and it's like the price of an iPhone in India is like 90 million. What the fuck?
Now you buy something in Japan, Chris.
Yeah, in yen.
Oh wow.
God.
That's a place you want to go to.
No, you go and there's like
yen.
Yeah, there's like vending machines. It's like 2,500 yen, and it's a can of drink, and it's like.
Yeah, we had a really funny run-in when we played in Czech Republic. We played at Rock for People, and we were all queuing for these ATMs. You know, it's like at a festival where there's like 4 ATMs that have got money in, so you're queuing for ages. And then the guys were like, "Oh, you're in front. Just like you draw out the money, and we'll like sort of split it all between us." So I went to the ATM with Matt. And I was like, well, I don't know how much any of this is worth. And he was like, just get like that one, like, and he just pressed the button. It was like 900 kroner or something. And I was like, all right, okay, like I'll just get, app up to see what it is. And we've drawn out like 640 quid for like, we were only there for one day. And it was just like, how many like Red Bulls can we drink?
£100.
And, like, kebabs. So I've still got a load of kroner in the room. Like.
Do you know what? That's pretty similar to the story when I went to, when you go to like Asda and you get like the travel exchange money places. So me and the lads a couple of years ago went to Bulgaria on one of the lads' stag do's.
Oh yeah, notoriously like cheap everything.
Yeah, so I walked in, like there was about 20 lads walked in, and we said, can we all just have like £500 worth of lev? And instead of just going, yeah, fine, she went, how long are you just going for? Well, like a weekend. Okay, do you want to buy a palace or are you just going to like live in 5-star accommodation? Why? She went, well, one lev is not £1, it's about 30 pence. And I was like, how much is a beer? She went, one lev. I was like, yes, £500, please.
It's all right, lads, we were right first time.
The best thing.
My mate went on a stag do there and he was like, you were like the king of the town. Whip out that crisp 20 lev. Drinks are on me, boys.
The best thing that ever happened to us when we went in there, like one of our mates at the time was like the least intelligent, shall we call him? And we walked into it. You could quite easily tell was like an English pub over there, like all the football shirts hanging up, and there was like Liverpool shirts, Everton shirts, like all the Premier League. And we're like, get him to get the round in because I reckon this fella's English. And he's like, well, okay then, yes, you're up for the round. 110, buddy, thank you so much. Goes over to the bar and said, can I have like 20 pints of whatever the Bulgarian beer was at the time? And this guy's just like, huh? And he went, 10 plus 10 beers. And he's doing all this on the pump. And he's like, and he's like, beer. Or like for like a good 10 minutes. And in the end, he just turned around and looked to us. This fella just couldn't hold it anymore. Burst out laughing. Turns around and he goes, I know full well what a fucking pint is. He was a scouser. I was like, only us would we do that. But when you get speaking to him and you find out like what he's paying for his beer compared to over here, he's like, yeah, it's just ridiculous. Like you could buy sickies for like £1.50 for 20. It's ridiculous. Wow. But yeah, very, very cheap. Lovely place as well. But you just got to be careful because they have a mafia.
Yeah.
So you could all us would at the time went into cars and there was like guys just like starting to move jackets out the way, like, yeah, he's got a gun there, just leave him alone.
Last couple of minutes, guys. We're at 110.
We have just had a message as well from Marianne. So she said, "Don't worry if Caskets run over a little bit because obviously we're still running the auction. They're still around. They've joined the waiting room, but it's fine for a couple of minutes."
Oh, we're at 115.
Oh, nice.
Marianne.
Keep it going.
I love Marianne. She's a right legend.
Yeah.
130. That was a big jump.
Oh wow, 130.
Buddy's going in.
Yeah. I don't even know how you'd say 130. You'd have to be like, yeah.
30.
I love when you see them, them Storage Wars programs.
Oh, yeah.
And he's just like, what are you saying?
The thing is, I don't give a shit what they're saying. What are they selling?
Oh. Do you know they do that in Liverpool?
Yeah,
you can actually go down to the docks, but I'm guessing it'd be like, here's £150. You've bought a body.
Oh my god.
It's your cousin.
Imagine it was just a load of old merch from you guys, just like it's in a big like container truck. It's just
so they're buying my garage, are they? Is that what you're...
Can we tempt you for 150? Come on.
There's something in your garage that's probably a lot more.
Yeah, that's actually quite a funny story. So, like, you'll have seen the video for Find a Way where we're like, we've got the coffin.
Yeah.
This is my favourite story ever.
The casket. Yeah, that like I was like, oh, I'll just bosh it straight back on eBay after the video shoot, and obviously never did. So like I've still got it in the garage, and these guys were like, you've got to wheel the casket out for the photo shoot. But I was just like. That would have been the amazing announce post.
Can you give it the ending line from when you bought it from the guy though?
Oh, the guy was like, he was like, I'm really sorry.
No, that was the ending line. You did the deal and everything. Put it in the car.
Yeah, he was like, I'm really sorry for your loss, and I was just like, it's for a music video, and he was like, oh, thank God.
The ending line is like, oh, thanks, no worries, yeah, it's in the car, boom, money's done deal. The guy's walking off, he's like, oh, I'm very sorry for your loss. And it's like, oh God, no.
Oh,
imagine if that was like that's how you should have announced the name change. You should have got like a really bad smoke machine, wheeled Chris out the garage in it, and then he could have just been like, it's what we're called now, just walked off.
He's probably going to make an appearance at some point. He's too good to not.
Spray paint it yellow.
It's just ironically, he's going to make an appearance.
Well, he needs to make an appearance to come out of my garage.
And get sold.
Oh, there's no room in the van to take it home. I guess we're going to leave it on the A35.
It would be funny to list the house for sale, but obviously we're not with the intention of selling it, and to put that in like the garage with the lid on it and everything and just be like, yeah, it's spacious garage, and people are like, fuck no.
It's quite hard to sell a coffin on eBay. It's like one careful owner.
Yeah.
Only used once.
This keeps coming out for Halloween. This keeps getting pushed out of garage.
I mean, it's pretty cool to have, I suppose, especially if you need it for music videos.
It's not very comfy.
Well,
I remember when we said to Matt, we were like, get in it. Just, how often do you get to get in a coffin in your life, So we were like, get in it. And he was like, you're going to lock me in it. And I was like, we will not lock you in it, mate. And then like we were going back and forth for 5-10 minutes. And we were like, look, we will not lock you in it. As soon as that lid went down, buff, locked in it. Right, we're off outside, mate. We'll come back in a minute. And he's like...
that'll probably be horrible to do. You'd love to lie in that, though. That's your thing.
It wasn't a very good coffin.
I'm very intrigued.
The guy who I got it from was like, it's made out of like bamboo or something, and he like had a business making bamboo flooring, and he was like trying to branch out into doing other stuff like, I don't know, baskets that we could do. But
150.
It was like his one prototype for the coffin, and he was like, nah, I don't want to sell these. So I just listed it on eBay and muggins in the night.
You don't. The only time you'd ever get to line a coffin was when you're dead, so you wouldn't know what it was like. You'd have to know beforehand.
I don't want to know what it's like if I'm dead. I don't care.
It's like. Don't seriously. Not one part of you is intrigued.
No, because you know the next time you get in it,
you've clearly never slept in a bunk on a tour bus. So that's like me.
They really do look really like claustrophobic.
Oh,
it's all right if you don't mind.
150. But he's saying close it before it gets any higher.
Well,
imagine you're a piece of bread getting into a toaster. That's what it's like getting into a bunk bed in a bus.
I've often thought, what if you jumped awake, you just butt the top of it?
Yeah, you must do.
Seal the deal for this young man.
Yeah, should we close it?
Close it.
Close it. Done. Sold, buddy. Thank you so much.
150.
Buddy boy.
Boom.
Nice.
Here we go. That's more like it. We couldn't let it go for less than probably.
Oh,
but
too late.
Too late.
Oh, too late.
Too late.
Closed.
There is a delay on the stream there. That's a problem.
Yeah, there's about a 5-second delay.
Oh.
What we do?
No.
Oh,
No,
God,
it's still going.
he put another bid in anyway.
It's still going.
Yeah, we closed it. He can have
Yeah.
it. He got it up there. So
No more. What do you used to say on Banzai? Betting end.
Right. Well, that is done. So, I don't know how you want to do it. Do you want him because you know that guy to message you?
Yeah. I know him, so I can sort like sending it to him and stuff.
Perfect. I will get you the address for Stevie for the first one.
Perfect. Yeah.
I got that over.
You can be the bailiff. I'll be the bearer of good news. You'll be like, "Where's my money?"
150 was the closing bid, Sean. 150 it was.
Yeah, we closed it. Sorry, guys.
150.
The money goes to any way of donating you want. There is 3 ways. You can go onto the Just Given page and do it direct. You can do it through Super Chat. You can do it through PayPal. Yeah. Super Chat and PayPal basically work the same, the way I have my channel set up. So it's entirely up to you. Yeah, £150.
Can you put the link in and stuff?
Stevie,
there you go. Yeah, the link's there.
Thank you, Stevie. The mods are amazing on this, by the way. They really are. Right, guys, thank you so much for giving us the time and coming on. It's been a pleasure. And like I've said in the past years, if you ever need anything, I'm always around.
We've really enjoyed it. Appreciate it loads. Can't wait to see your reaction to the next song.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to see us live. There's one live video on YouTube where you're playing guitar.
Get that axed off. Is it where we're at Blackheart in London?
You're at the Acres gig. There's an Acres thing.
Yeah. It's at the Blackheart in London. Yeah.
Oh, Craig, you've took away his ability now though, because there's a really cool like guitarist moment where there's two like a down and an up strum on the guitar, and he's sort of like.
Somebody post a link in chat cool. Again, please, for the donation.
Yeah, they'll do it. Yeah, there's a part. It's on. Oh, what's the song?
That's me now. That's me. Forget everything before. That's me.
What's the most jarring thing about moving to bass is like you playing almost the exact same thing, but like the first and second string are switched around. So like, I know all the riffs, but they're like all upside down now.
Oh, it's bad enough switching from guitar to bass on Clone Hero. And I play. My guitar is here.
And then the only other thing is there's bits in songs where I know I can relax, have a drink of water, towel off the face, gone. There's always some subtle bass going on all the time.
Well, obviously, just before you go, just because it's just a thing that I'm obsessed with. What do you play? What model have you got?
What bass do I play?
Well, guitar.
Well, I can tell you because it's my guitar that Craig plays. So Craig's playing a lovely second-hand LTD. He's playing the Stephen Carpenter 7-string.
Oh.
He Telecaster with the black finish and white pickguard. And I'm rocking a Stingray in like a gold yellowish finish.
We've got, just quickly before you go, we've got someone else in chat asking, can I just buy an autographed shirt for 50 or something?
Of course, yeah.
If you want to donate £50, dude, then that is fine with the band.
Yeah.
But
donate 50 and then contact Chris.
Yeah.
And I'll sort out like some signed pictures and stuff like. Obviously, they were in a very close second, weren't they? So
I will throw, if you won't mind as well, if there's some left for the tarot cards, I'll throw in whatever the lads want me to, within reason, obviously like 500 quid or something, for a set of tarot cards for M, because I know how much he wanted them. I will buy them.
Oh, we'll sort you some tarot cards. Tell you what, if you can wait, there's more tarot cards arriving. So hang fire, and your patience will be rewarded.
Yeah, I know she wanted them, so I will.
I read tarot, so
She does, yeah.
There's going to be a tarot card for every song on the album.
Oh.
Ooh.
Many to come. Give us a wave, Craig.
We are.
Right,
Like
guys.
me.
Well, that
Yeah,
was.
we'll hang out in the chat.
Oh, thank you so much. And
Thanks.
thank you for all the shares and everything on social media. The lot. It's been unreal.
No, we appreciate it. It's all for the cause. And like
again.
you're always looking out for us, to appreciate it, man.
It means a lot. But thank you so much for coming on. Thank the rest of the guys, and obviously I can't wait to hear what's to come.
Perfect.
Yes, man.
Soon.
But yeah, thank you so much. Take care.
Have a good night.
You too.